Hello, everyone. My name is Kate Carrasco, and I am the owner and founder of The Grey Witches. So nice to see you this afternoon, evening. I tried to get on this afternoon and was having technical difficulties. So here I am at 8 o'clock at night. And I promise that will not ever get on this late ever again. Um, so I'm back. The Grey Witches is back. For those of you who may not know, our content has been a little quiet. Our group has been a little bit quiet from the Grey Witches page for about a year. So I wanted to hop back on, introduce myself, reintroduce myself to members that have been with us since the beginning in 2019. And I want to kind of tell you where we're headed. So, to start, I'll tell you a little bit about my story, where I've been for the past year, and then we'll jump into the Grey Witches and what we have planned for you. So, do me a favor and like, comment, say hello that you're here. I would love to see you and say hi. So first things first, my name is Kate Carrasco. I've been practicing magic for almost a decade now. In my search for a community that I felt at home in, that I felt comfortable in, that I could talk about curses and hexes and have all of those questions, I couldn't really find a perfect home or a perfect fit for that community. I was searching on Facebook, Facebook groups, Instagram, and I just really couldn't find that community that I felt right at home in. And it took a couple of years. And then I created the Grey Witches group in 2019. I wanted to start a community for mystics, witches, empaths, and basically everything in between who believe that light and dark, life and death, the gray, right, existed and it was okay to exist in that space. So I knew in my very being that people could definitely channel and perform gray magic. Sometimes what others call, wrong or don't put the negativity out there. But I truly feel like I feel like gray magic can help our communities. It can help our families, our friends as a whole. Not everything in life is love and light, right? So, from a young age, I had an intense connection with the universe. My abilities allowed me to pick up information and feelings from people, as well as vibrational messages from spirits and souls, or source, as I call it. Using my gifts, I have helped provide information to people, whether they're seeking in past, present, or future. And really, in my experience, I've found that knowledge that we're seeking, right, is just on the other side of spiritual guidance, whether that is channeling, whether that is using your modality of divination that you love, or really just going inward and finding and listening to your spiritual guides. So that is what I am passionate about. This group, the Grey Witches, specifically our Facebook group, I wanted to make a community that allowed people from all different paths, right? Whether if you subscribe to gray witchcraft, or if you're just interested in it, even if you're Wiccan, Christian, any type of religion, right, that you're interested in gray magic, gray witchcraft, that's where you come, right? The Grey Witches. And so it's sometimes easier to focus on what divides humanity than what unites us, right? I believe that every one of us is driven by a desire to develop a relationship with a higher power. I call that source. And the Grey Witches is a space for us to explore, hold space for one another, for that core human necessity. And we can do that together right here. So exciting news. I launched the Grey Witches website and blog just last week, kind of as a teaser to those of you that are on the email list already know this, but just as a teaser that we are live and coming back with content in September 1st. And we have the entire month planned out already, and content is ready to go for y'all. So I'm very excited about that. The blog, the Grey Witches blog, is open to everyone, including those who don't subscribe to, my belief system, gray magic. And I think stepping out of our comfort zone can often be incredibly impactful experience, not only for ourselves, but for others. So I'm confident that if people are open to it, they can find meaningful experience here to incorporate in their own practice. So I want to talk a little bit about what the Grey Witches isn't, right? Or who the Grey Witches isn't for. I just had a conversation with someone that emailed the Grey Witches page and said, hey, how touchy is the group about cultural appropriation? And I was like, oh, this person is reaching out because they had a question that they wanted to ask. I thought, I read it as they didn't want to offend anyone, so they said, hey, how touchy is the group if I mention X, Y, and Z? And I responded and I said, hey, thank you so much for being aware that cultural appropriation exists, and asking this question. I think that is a completely okay question to ask because you're wanting to gain knowledge and learn about it in a respectful way. Thanks so much for being open about it. So here's who the Grey Witches isn't for. The response that I got was, never mind, I'm not taking that chance. I don't really care. If you don't care about cultural appropriation, if you don't think it exists, if you don't care about listening and giving space to our BIPOC members, our members, that just get out, just leave. This space is not for you. I'm no longer non-apologetic about that or apologetic about that, right? This space is not for bigots. This space is not for gatekeepers that think that they are the end all be all in the witch community, society, whatnot. This space is for people that have been through hell and back, and they want to learn more and grow spiritually, personally, and really gain a great knowledge in their craft so that they can better themselves, better their friends, their community. So I wanted to put that out there. I think when I first started this community, I really wanted to please everyone. I'm a people pleaser. I'm a perfectionist. I am breaking that habit. I am not a perfectionist anymore. I'm a recovering perfectionist. But I have come to realize that this group and the Grey Witches is not for everyone. And so a part of the reason why, or most of the reason why we have been offline, that we've kind of just out of thin air for about a year, is I now have a daughter. My husband and I had our firstborn in September of last year. So Juniper will be 1 year on September 25th, and the time has flown by. And I really struggled with the transition to motherhood. It was very hard. Of course, I love my daughter incredibly, right? It's a love that I've never felt. I thought that I loved my dogs and that I loved my husband. And when I had Juniper, my entire world changed. And everyone told me that, but you don't know until you experience it for yourself. And so I struggled with postpartum anxiety, specifically postpartum OCD. And I have been coming back from that for the past 11 months. So postpartum isn't, especially postpartum anxiety, specifically postpartum OCD, is not really talked about. I thought I was just going crazy. Um, and I am very thankful that I found a wonderful therapist. I found a wonderful psychiatrist to help me kind of get me back to me. So now I am once again focused on my craft. I'm focused on um, my spiritual journey, my spiritual path, and that self care, that self love for myself. So let's talk a little bit about, um, I guess, maybe a few more things of who the Grey Witches isn't for, right? Whether that's the Facebook group or community, um, Instagram, our page, our website, right? Our content. I mean, you can read it, right? But my soul um is who we aren't for, right? The Grey Witches is not a place to come to just bomb dark magic and negativity, and that's what you want to put out in the world, right? I don't have a problem with gray magic. I definitely have a problem with someone that is like casting a spell to try to kill someone for whatever reason, right? Just a very extreme example, but I'm just trying to kind of lay down the expectations or guidelines of my brand of this business, right? We truly are. When I built this community, when I started this community, we truly are for the witches that are self-aware. They want to grow in their craft, right? That's important to you. You're looking for a fresh and a balanced approach to witchcraft, right? So much of the time when I first started down my journey in witchcraft about 10 years ago, it was all love and light, which is amazing, right? There is nothing wrong with love and light. There's nothing wrong with positivity mindset and manifestation, and all of those things are really good. But there's another side of the coin, right? Like life isn't all just like rainbows and flowers and when I first started my journey 10 years ago, I that's all I could find, right? And now gray witchcraft is everywhere. I had someone ask me the other day, like, I'm a hedge witch and I practice gray magic in my craft, like, how did you not find a community? I'm like, well, 10 years ago we didn't have all these Facebook groups and now we have books on hexing and cursing and things. Like 10 years ago that wasn't readily available. And so this journey I've been walking and finding, when I finally made the Grey Witches community not too long ago, right? Just almost 4 years ago now, 3.5 years ago. Um, that's what I was wanting for myself and for you, if you resonate with that. So we are a community, a witch community that wants to immerse ourselves in gray magic and witchcraft of all kinds, with that we also keep in mind and respect to closed practices, right? I am not a part of many closed practices, and I would never want to disrespect or just go into a practice that I wasn't welcome into. And I think that that's really important, especially as a witch, to realize that. So whether you're a new witch, right? You're a seasoned witch. You've been honing your craft for the past 20 years, or you just joined our Facebook group today, or just found us on Instagram, or you just signed up for our newsletter on our website. Uh, this is the community for you, right? If you practice gray magic, both dark and light, that you see both sides of the coin, night and day, right? It's all about balance of really, when I think about gray witchcraft, gray magic, I think about nature, right? Like the cycle of life and death, and everything has an opposite. So the Grey Witches realm is truly was truly created for those who are interested in or practice already both light and dark magic. We use everyday magic to transform the lives around us. ourselves, our friends, our family, our communities. And our community here at the Grey Witches is open to witches, mystics, druids, empaths, right? Spiritual badasses, all of the above. We truly are gray magic for the modern witch, and we're a haven for light workers that walk in the shadows. Um, so yeah, that's just kind of what's been on my heart. I'm very excited to be back with y'all. Let's talk about what's coming up. So when I first made this community, it was just like, oh, Facebook group, let's go. And now it's really evolved into many different things. And so I am very excited to share with you that, we launched our website. It's like a soft launch, but it will officially be like full going on September 1st. So just 2 days away on Thursday. And we are going to have a blog. So our blog posts will come out every Thursday. So this Thursday on September 1st, we'll have a blog post about what is gray magic, right? Like what the heck is a gray witch? Just to kind of get all of our new members or any seeker familiar with what is gray magic and what being a gray witch means. And that's really exciting for us because I felt like I've been called to write a blog, to start a blog, and I had always had that perfectionist mindset in the back of my mind, and it just debilitated anything that I thought, I mean, y'all, I have 36 blog articles written, that I've been writing for the past years, and I just got stuck in this, well, it's not perfect, I've changed this word, or like this won't speak to them. And finally, quite honestly, with going through postpartum anxiety and being a mom, I have learned that like perfect doesn't exist, and that's okay, and good is good enough. And so I have finally been able to step out and launch, I'll say, this business, right? So we'll have a blog a blog post every Thursday for y'all. If you haven't seen our website, you can go to thegraywitches.com, scroll all the way down, sign up for our newsletter. That is going to give you the quickest access to all of the news, the updates. I promise I won't spam you. Literally, it'll be once a week. I'll give you a reading for your time in the newsletter. So there'll be a weekly reading, a tarot pull or an oracle pull, and then you'll have updates in that newsletter as well of what's next, what we've been up to on our blog, and things of that nature. So really excited about that. Again, go to thegraywitches.com and sign up for our newsletter. Just scroll all the way down on the homepage and input your email address. So, and then what else? So we are in really just wanting to strive to bring the gray witch community out into the open, right? I don't know if you're like me. I am a recovering born again Christian. In college, that is something that I was very passionate about, but also felt very trapped at the same time. And I never understood why. And I understand now that it's because that was like, again, like same perfectionist mindset and one being ruling everything. It no longer makes sense, right? And I felt very judged in that. Nothing against I still have friends that are beautiful, amazing Christians, and I love them dearly. But that space just wasn't for me. And I'll tell you what, there's going to be judgy asshole people everywhere. We've seen it. If you've been in the Grey Witches group for since the beginning, we've seen our fair share of turds, right? I always like to say, I like it when the trash takes out itself, like those people that get all upset and they cuss everybody out, and then they're like, I didn't need your advice anyway, and I'm not really self-aware, so peace out. And we're like, bye, thank you for doing that. The guy right before I went live this evening was like, oh, I'm not taking the chance. I don't care about cultural appropriation, right? Like, okay, bye. Like, thanks thanks for doing that hard work for me. Like, weed yourselves out. We don't want you here. So that's don't kill our vibes, right? We've spent too much time building this community of people that want to learn, that are self-aware, and that are always striving for better in their craft, to make themselves better, to make their communities better. So um I think a true gray witch finds, or strives rather, to find balance in both the dark and the light. She has a high sense of self-worth and self-awareness. She's not afraid of shadow work, and will gladly confront that darker side of ourselves on our path to self-discovery. Um, Most importantly, I think a gray witch will fiercely protect her family and friends, and our community, or her community, as she uses her craft to open the eyes, of those around her, right? So yeah, so within our community, so what's in it for you, right? What do we have planned? So within our blog posts, our Instagram feed, our reels, um our Facebook group, right? Within our community, especially in our Facebook group, I mean, we have amazing members, y'all. It's a free group that you'll have access to. Members, they share their spells, they share their rituals, they share what protection magic they're doing, energy healing, all of the above, right? Divination, tarot, what they've been up to in their own tarot card readings. So you'll learn from other witches in our community that share tips, and we learn new things from the light workers really around the world. I'm based in Dallas, Texas, specifically Plano, and most of our members are in the States, but we also have members in the UK and Canada, and truly across the nation, across the world, the nation, that too. And it's just really neat to listen to everyone else's perspectives and your experiences, because hopefully we can take just a tidbit of that and learn it for ourselves, or apply it to our own practice. So and I want to say too that anyone can be a witch, right? Like, there are no requirements to be a witch. You don't have to be born into it, or born a witch, or some of the funny things that we see in our community. No offense if that's something that you identify with. I don't want people to feel left out if they like weren't born into that community like myself. There's no requirements, and really the only requirement is like you practicing your craft, right? Whatever that means to you, whether you do spells on a regular basis, or you I do like a morning ritual spell with my coffee in the morning, or you are in love with crystals and that's your practice, or you enjoy doing full moon rituals. There's no requirements to being a witch, and your path is yours. And I think that's one of the beautiful things about the craft, about magic. So and then I think that, for the largest thing with the Gray Witches, is we truly are the largest community. And so our group on Facebook can help you become more confident in your own practice to balance the energy around you. So um, what's coming up? So we have our blog, our website. It is live again, thegraywitches.com. Go subscribe to our newsletter so that you can learn about what's coming next. Just a little more information. We will be having a course that is going live to kind of demystify gray magic, and deep dive into gray magic itself, which I'm very excited about. We'll have that We don't have a live date yet. It kind of just depends on how September goes, how busy it is, but we'll definitely have that out to y'all by the I don't want to say the end of the year because that's like 4 months away, but I'll say September or October. Our Gray Magic course will be coming out, which is really exciting. And then we're kind of just going to build from there. And then another thing that uh, our members keep asking for us about, one more thing, and then I'll wrap it up and let you get back to your night. But one of the things that we are going to create is a Gray Witches Coven. And this will be a smaller group of people that are dedicated in growing in their practice and wanting kind of that like one-on-one experience or that face-to-face experience with a coven. I'm in the South. We don't really have a lot of that to go around. And so I wanted to create a space for people to do, and that'll be virtually. So the Gray Witches Coven will be founded this year as well, and more to come on that. But I'm very excited about that as well. And so my thought is just kind of dreaming here, right? We're gonna put it out into the universe and manifest it. But what the Gray Witches Coven will look like is that we will run full moon rituals on like a Zoom call on a monthly basis, and then a different type of get together, whether that be just like a happy hour to get on a Zoom and chat and have that community, or we're learning a spell or ritual together. So I am very excited about that. I know probably 24 of you already have reached out to me to say that you are interested in the Gray Witches Coven, which is so amazing. And I am so excited. So we'll be producing that or making that a reality within the next couple of months as well. So yeah, that was a lot. I wasn't expecting that I would talk this much, but yeah, that's kind of what is coming up. Uh One more thing, I promise I'm done with the one more things after this one more thing. So I am going to start going live every Tuesday at 1 o'clock. Again, I was trying to do that this afternoon and had a ton of technical difficulties. But we will be going live every Tuesday at 1 o'clock Central Standard Time. So if you're on the East Coast, that's 2 o'clock. If you are on the West Coast, that's 11 a.m. your time. And if you're Mountain Time, of course, it's noon. So I thought maybe like a little lunch break. I usually take my lunches later, and so it'll be a little lunch break for you guys to jump in and learn about something magic witchcraft related every Tuesday at 1 o'clock Central. And so our next week, tune in next week, we'll be talking about the full moon. Our harvest moon is coming up on September 10th. And so we're going to talk about full moon rituals, what you can do for this harvest moon, and just some of the folklore behind it as well. So excited for that. If you haven't already, go to thegraywitches.com and subscribe to our newsletter to just be the first to know really about how our community continues to grow and strive. So I am so thankful for this community. Thank you guys for making what it is, for making it what it